Hi, good days. Hope you're doing fine. In this series, we will discuss about the Chaucerean to the Shakespearean period. If you are ready, let's start. 551 onwards. The theme of Boccaccio's Decameron is self-identification of the individual. Machiavelli is the author of The Prince. Sir Toby Belch is a character from the play Twelfth Night. The ideal relation of husband and wife is depicted by Shakespeare in the relation between Bassanio and Portia. When did the Reformation begin in England? 1377. Who called Spencer poet's poet? Lamb. Who believed that the true end of poetry was delightful teaching? Spencer. Spencer's Amority and Epithalamion came out in the year 1595. Which poem of Spencer celebrates the marriage of the daughter of the Earl of Worcester? Prathalamion. For gold is physic, therefore has loved the gold in special. The above lines come from Chaucer. Delia is a collection of sonnets by Michael Drayton. Edmund Spenser, born in 1572, died in the year 1588. Ideas Mirror is a collection of sonnets by Lodge. Spenser's The Shepherd's Calendar came out in the year 1579. The Shepherd's Calendar was inspired by Virgil and Theocritus. The name of the sonnet sequence by Spenser is Amority. Two Cantos of Mutability is the title of the last book of the Fairy Queen. How many nights are there in the Fairy Queen? 6. The Fairy Queen was planned to be written in 9 books. Castle of Health is a medical prose. Out of 24 stories of the Canterbury Tales, how many stories are complete? 20. Reginald Peacock belonged to 15th century. Oakley's A Dialogue with a Friend is a satire on women. The history of Richard III was written by Moore. Who wrote the poem Why Come Ya Not to Court? John Skeleton. The above mentioned poem satirizes Wolsey. Skelton's Book of Colin Clouds satirized Voice of the Clergy. A patriotic poem, Valleys, was written by Harry. Who was Lady Jane Beaufort, niece to Henry V? Who fell in love with Lady Beaufort? King James I. The pastime of pleasure and the example of virtue are allegories. The above mentioned allegories were written by Stephen Howes. Stephen Howes was an English Chaucerian. Barnsley was born in 1474 and died in 1552. The Regiment of Princes is a satire on fashion and dress. Barabbas is a character from The Jew of Malta. Marlowe's The Jew of Malta is about love of wealth. Dr. Faustus is a tragedy about the pursuit of worldly powers. Gaston is a character in Edward II. Shakespeare's historical plays present the history of England from 1200 to 1550. The book The Fall of Princes and The Temple of Glass are by John Lydgate. Lyly's Woman in the Moon is a play. Midas and Mother Bombay are the romantic plays by John Lyly. Which element is found in Lyly's plays? Wit and humor. Who mentions Marlowe's mighty line? Ben Jonson. Battle of Poitiers took place in 1356. The Hundred Years' War was between England and France. Black Death in England broke out during the reign of Edward III. Who was of the view that Chaucer lacks high seriousness? Matthew Arnold. The leader of the peasants' revolt was John Bull. The peasants' revolt took place in the year 1381. Who said, "Pray you now forget and forgive"? King Lear. The line, "Best men are molded out of faults," occurs in the play Measure for Measure. In the play King Lear, the villain is Edmund. Das is dramatic romance, The Winter's Tale. Prospero is a character in The Tempest. The line, "O brave new world," occurs in the play The Tempest. Who says of all his women, Imogen is most perfect? Mrs. Jameson. Who remarked about Chaucer, "It was easy matter to produce some thousands of his verse, which no pronunciation can make otherwise." Dryden. Diana is a sonnet sequence by Henry Constable. Which book has been recognized as an English Christian humanistic epic? The Fairy Queen. Calvin's were called Presbyterians. The Puritan attack on Elizabeth took place in the year 1579. In 1579, the annum of the Presbyterian leader was Thomas Cartwright. The theatre, The Curtain, was built in the year 1577. Philip Henslowe built the theatre named as The Rose. The Rose was built in the year 1586. Which one is the most important theatre of the Elizabethan age? The Globe. Ithamore is a character in the play The Jew of Malta. How many historical plays were written by Shakespeare? 14. Belle Imperia is a character in the play The Spanish Tragedy. Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar came out in the year 1599. The theatre The Globe was built in the year 1590. How many of Shakespeare's history plays are based on Roman history? 3. George Gascoigne's comedy Suppose, a translation of Ariosto's I Suppose I, came out in the year 1566. Which one of Shakespeare's plays was based on Gascoigne Supposes? The Taming of the Shrew. The theatre The Globe was set on fire during an yearly performance of the play Henry VII. The Globe was set on fire in the year 1613. Das is a comedy of mistaken identity, the comedy of errors. The Jew of Malta appeared in the year 1589. The Tempest came out in the year 1611. Shakespeare's comedy of errors is based on Plautus Menachemi or the twins. Totus Mundus Agit. Historian means all the world is stage. Shakespeare's Two Gentlemen of Verona came out in the year 1594. Angelo is a character in the play Measure for Measure, which is known as the tragedy of time, Troilus and Cressida. The theatre The Globe, which was set on fire, was rebuilt in the year 1614. Which of Shakespeare's play is known as the revenge tragedy? Titus Andronicus. Who regards Shakespeare's yearly comedies as joyous, refined, romantic? Dowden. Viola is the heroine of the play Twelfth Night. Shakespeare's Coriolanus came out in the year 1608. Thomas Kidd was arrested in 1593 because of his anti-immigrant incitement. Antony and Cleopatra shows the conflict between Rome and Egypt. The ghost of Andrew appears in the play The Spanish Tragedy. Who said that the hero of Shakespeare's great classical trilogy is Rome? Wilson Knight. Helena de Narbonne is the heroine of All's Well That's End Well. Who said Shakespearean comedy is not finally satiric, it is poetic? Charlton. Who made the remark that Shakespeare has no heroes, he has only heroines? Ruskin. Edward Allen was a great actor of Elizabethan age. The Swan Theatre was built in the year 1594. That's all about this video. Hope this video will be useful one, and thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you are having any suggestion, let me know in the comment section. We'll see you next video. Tada, bye bye.